the last step of Roux or for C is permuting the edges on the M slice. And here there are a couple easy cases, or there are three cases are very simple. So there's dots where the centers don't match. Then there's rows where you kind of have to swap these things and then there's columns, which is the same, kind of like rows but vertical. So for rows you can do M2, U2, M2, U2 to solve that. Columns is kind of the same, you just start with an M prime and then U2, M2, U2, and then an M prime at the end. And dots, here is where you do E moves, so you do E2, M, E2, M prime to solve that. But now there are the not so simple cases, the cycle cases where you kind of have some edges solved and some aren't, and yeah, these are the annoying ones kind of at first because they're a bit confusing. So the way you want to do it is you want to solve the DF and DB edges, these ones. So you want to kind of solve these two and the centers, because then if you do that, these two will be solved as well, because you can't have parity. So basically you can kind of do that intuitively. Since here we have this one solved, I just kind of solve this. Here you can, by the way, you're only using U2s and M moves, so you just kind of do it intuitively. Put this up here and then M prime U2 M2, insert it there, solve it. So you can kind of play around with those intuitively, but it can be kind of hard for some of those cases to do it. So there's a recognition system that you can use to always know what the optimal case is. So after you solve the UL and UR edges, one of the DFDB edges in these cycle cases, one of them is on top, one of them is on bottom. So here my DFDB edges are the yellow ones, so this one and this one. So now here we look at the one on the bottom, if it matches the center, the F or B center. So in this case the green doesn't match the blue, so when they don't match, we AUF so that the corners are correct, so this case. And then if the D edges, if they're on top of each other, we do M2, U2, and then we just kind of solve intuitively from there. You can kind of see that if we need to flip this kind of bar around, so if we do M prime U2 and then just adjust the M slice at the end, solve that. But here also, this D edge, the color doesn't match this F center, so we AUF the corners correctly. But if these are opposite, instead of being stacked on top of each other, what you do is you look at if these match the center on U or D. So this one matches, this one doesn't, and we do the move that keeps this one on U, or puts it on U if it's on bottom. So in this case with an M and then a U2, and then kind of intuitively from there, like that. Now if this DFDB edge on the bottom does match the center, what you do is you AUF these D edges so that they're opposite each other, like this. And then again you look at these UD centers and the stickers, and if the one that doesn't match, move it to the top, and then the U2, and then into it from there. Here again, this matches, so we AUF them opposite. This one doesn't match the center, this one does, so this to the top, U2, and then finish from there.